So Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa has decided to act this time around, actually doing what was anticipated to be done, that is to retire Valerio Sibanda. Of course, we expected that. And where exactly is Valerio Sibanda going to? It will be also an issue of the analysis today. Quite a drastic move and quite a drastic decision that has been made by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, who will be predicting what is in his mind and what may be going on to actually the other faction in ZANU-PF of retired General Chiwenga. So greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hloniphani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. I'll read the letters as they have been issued by the presidency. Number one, notice of appointment of commander of the forces. It says, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, acting in terms of Section 2162 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, as read with Section 7.1 and 8.2 of the Defense Act, Chapter 1102, promoted Lieutenant General Emmanuel Matutu to the rank of General and appointed him Commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces with effect from 21 November 2025. Caption this, Emmanuel Matutu is already old and very soon is actually due to his retirement. We're talking of he's less than 6 months or so for him to retire. This appointment follows the retirement of outgoing commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Philip Valerio Sibanda. Now that Philip Valerio Sibanda has resigned from the military, a position has to be actually created for him, and it's quite obvious. I think I have predicted this long time ago that most probably he is heading to the vice and they will be specifically targeting the position of Kembo Mohadi. It has been said Kembo Mohadi has been asking to be retired from the office of vice presidency. He did not make only this announcement. Now, this is what makes it very, very interesting. Now, notice of appointment of commander of the Zimbabwe National Army. Now, it says, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, acting in terms of Section 2162 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe as read with Section 11.1a and 11.4 of the Defense Act, Chapter 1102, promoted Major General Esha Walter Tafumane. This is an ally of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. Let's look, he's replacing, let's go to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed him Commander of the Zimbabwe National Army with effect from 25 November 2025. Now, this position was temporarily held by the one who has been promoted now to be the commander of the Zimbabwe National Army, of which I don't foresee him lasting for a long period of time. There may be actually plans to either take care of him or to allow his retirement to kick in, which is something that will happen very, very fast. Now, and appointed him commander of the Zimbabwe National Army with effect from 25 November 2025. The appointment follows the promotion of outgoing commander of the Zimbabwe National Army, Lieutenant General Emmanuel Matutu, to the post of general and commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Now, if you look at this staff money, he was in charge of the Zimbabwe Central Intelligence Organization. He is the one who actually spearheaded the chaotic victory of Emerson Mnangagwa through rigging the elections of 2023. He was in charge. He created what is popularly known as Forever Associates of Zimbabwe, which is a branch of the Central Intelligence Organization, which chaotically managed the elections. It was really chaotic. But they had to do broad daylight rigging of these elections. And at the center of this is this Walter Tafmane. He has taken the position which was once held by the current Minister of Sports under the Emerson Mnangagwa regime. And don't be surprised, Mnangagwa is actually taking slow steps. Obviously, he is gauging the political temperature at the moment. He couldn't actually parachute his ally to lead the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. If you look at what he has been doing, I think from the inception of his presidency is to try and get rid from the Zimbabwe Defense Forces allies of retired General Chiwenga, whether through permanent elimination or through reshuffling them. I mean, there is the current Minister of Sports, his name is Anselam Senyato. He was actually totally demoted through promotion. Demoted from the military because he was the ally of retired General Chiwenga, and put into the Ministry of Sports. He is temporarily parked there. Definitely he is not comfortable with him sitting in that ministry. We understand, monitor the temperature following these decisions that have been made. And so from the look of things, in the mind of Emerson Mnangagwa, he wants this, finally, this Walter Tafmane, who is the current ally of Emerson Mnangagwa, he would actually justify it as this notion that, I mean, he's one of the senior, he's a war veteran, and is one of the senior personnel within the security cluster in Zimbabwe, and he would say he has actually passed all levels of the military. He was brought in, partially to the military. Now he is rising through the ranks, and with the intention to put him to command the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. That is where this is going. And now what's in for the outgoing commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, that is Valerio Sibanda? I think I have explained that Emerson Mnangagwa is aiming at putting him as the vice president through the so-called, stupid unity accord arrangement, which keeps the people of Matabeleland as second-class citizens under the arrangement. So he would be, very soon, he would be appointed, you would be actually co-opted into the ZANU-PF Central Committee, and from there, he would be parachuted into the Politburo. Kembo Mohati, because of his health-related challenges, may voluntarily resign from being the vice president, and Valerio Sibanda would come through as one of the deputy presidents of Emerson Mnangagwa. Now, as I mean, one thing for sure, it was a necessity for Valerio Sibanda to retire, because he extended his term with 1 year last year, and of which I don't think that was constitutional. But in Zimbabwe, a constitution is not followed. He attempted to bring him to the Politburo through the back door, and a lot of people complained about this, and they had to reverse the decision. Does he trust Valerio Sibanda, and does Valerio Sibanda equally trust Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa? That is a very, very tricky situation. These decisions, in the mind of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, are meant to disadvantage retired General Chiwenga and his faction. But the question is, will this decision disadvantage retired General Chiwenga? I don't think so. I think at the moment there would be an urgent need for retired General Chiwenga faction to act very, very fast. I'm sure they see where Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is going with this. It remains to be seen whether he consulted retired General Chiwenga when he was making these appointments, very, very crucial appointments. I think it will be clearer as days goes by, but that's a drastic political decision, obviously miscalculated, to try and contain retired General Chiwenga, and also to try and actually curtail the influence of retired General Chiwenga within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. But I strongly believe retired General Chiwenga still have got so many connections within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and I'm sure over years, I mean over a period of years, they have been planning to counter such eventualities. Thank God at the moment, Mnangagwa, we haven't had the announcement of the promotion of his son. That may be a possibility, because at the end of the day, to secure himself, he wants his son to be actually at the helm of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Now, this, in my view, is an escalation if there was no consultation, of which I believe there may be no consultation. I mean, the Constitution empowers him to make these changes. But I think from 2017, dialogue was agreed to actually be to lead everything. You hope against hope, against evidence, against. Okay. So anyway, let me not focus on you and actually focus on this very, very. You disturb me with your comments. You will comment later, because so now in my view, I think what Mnangagwa is doing is trying to purge retired General Chiwenga, and I must say he is seen. This already is seen by the other faction, and in my view, it calls for them to act so very fast. And I trust that they put mechanism and they anticipated this, but it's still tricky for Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. It's still very, very tricky. Retired General Chiwenga still have got very influential people within the military. For example, the wife of retired General Chiwenga is a colonel within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. I strongly believe we still have got numerous allies within also the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. But the change, the retirement of Valerio Sibanda, it was expected and anticipated. I'm not so sure about the appointment of Tafumane. I'm not so sure. Obviously, General Emmanuel Matutu may be deserving to be where he is at the moment. What I can say, this is a political gamble. This is a political gamble, but his gamble is still not safe, and it is for him. It is still not safe for him. And I hope there was consultation. If there was no consultation, then this is one of the biggest escalations. And this will continue to widen the rift between Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa as well as retired General Chiwenga. I have maintained this. No matter what he may try and patch the other faction, I don't foresee him being successful. His time, in my view, is up. What will quicken his time to be up, it is because of such decisions that he is on top of. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Okanqobu Mhlabane is signing off. Let me